Hey guys, what's going on? James R. Schultz with TechCores.com, and today, finally, almost 2 months after my unboxing video, is the review of the 13-inch MacBook Pro. This is the model from mid-2009. Now, any day, Apple's supposed to be coming out with the next model generation of this unit, so kind of late, but thought I still might as well post it. Kind of got some of the other hardware I've added to my collection here in front. It'd be the Magic Mouse. I've got unboxings and reviews of this stuff. The wireless keyboard, and the surprisingly only $19 Apple remote. But what we're here to see is the MacBook Pro. So in the box, we're not going to do a reboxing here, but essentially what you get, I still have all the packing material. You get the MacBook, you get the case, or the power cord, and you get the applications install DVD as well as the iLife install DVD. You get Apple stickers, documentation information, and a little cleaning cloth. Really nice box, definitely worth keeping for resale. Another great thing about Macs, they will always resell. It says 13-inch LED backlit widescreen notebook. So obviously this is the 13-inch. A lot of people said, why'd you buy the 13-inch? Because of money. Yeah, I'll admit it definitely had something to do with it, but that is not the primary reason why I bought the 13-inch. 15 inches, I'm really used to 15 inches. My Lenovo 550, thrown away in this drawer here, is 15 inches. It's just big, a little heavy to carry around. So I thought 13 inches, it looks good, it's portable, and it's cheaper, so that's fine with me. This is the Intel Pentium, the Intel Core 2 Duo P8700, 2.53 gigahertz with a 3 megabyte L2 cache, 1066 megahertz bus, so that's pretty good. 4 gigabytes of DDR3 memory at 1066 megahertz, and this is the 250 gig 5400 RPM SATA drive. Backlit keyboard, full stuff. So we'll take a little tour here. Most of your ports are going to be found over here on the left side. First up is your MagSafe power, your Ethernet cable, Firewire 800 mini display port. This is going to support DVI, VGA. There's also HDMI and component composite adapters, S-video adapters, but DVI and VGA are pretty popular. 2 USB 2.0 ports, SD card slot, and then your audio in and out. Little button here to tell you how much battery power you've got left. On the front, just your little latch, your IR receiver, and then there's a little light that tells you when it's on and sleeping. On the left, Kensington lock, and then your slot loading 8X DVD, writable, readable, everything. Drive. On the back, just your hinge. This is really light. This is my first Mac. I'm a long-term PC user, and it's really refreshing to have something as well built as this. I've had ThinkPads, they're pretty nice. But this is 0.95 inches thin and 4.5 pounds. So it's one of the best computers I've ever owned. We'll go ahead and boot it up after we look at the power cords here. Most people don't do this. I like to, because whenever I'm looking at them and I don't know anything about it, I kind of like to see what it comes with. But you get this 6-foot extension piece here. It's polarized, it's just grounded. And then this is going to plug into the MagSafe. Magnetically, kind of. It's got that thing, and that might just be for power, but it slides in like this. And now you've got 12 feet of cord on this little brick here, and this little brick has these little arms that pull out, and that's for wrapping the cord around here, if you want to carry it that way. If you don't need that much cord, you don't even have to use that 6-foot extension cable, and you can just use, if I can find it, this little piece here, which is more for travel, but pretty nice. You stick that in there, now it looks like an Airport Express. Just plug that into the wall. This is your 60-watt MagSafe adapter. Why it's called the MagSafe, if anybody doesn't know, instead of just having it plug in like a normal computer would, it plugs in like this, and then if you trip over it, or your klutz and you do something stupid, it'll just rip out without breaking pins and screwing up the port on the main board, which is nice. So that's definitely a nice feature. Well, we're talking about power. It's got an onboard 7-hour battery. I found Apple lied about that. I get slightly more than 7 hours. It's an incredible battery. I absolutely love it. Intense work, sure, you're only going to get 3, 4, 5 hours. Average work that I do, just web browsing, brightness up half the way, obviously Wi-Fi on, maybe even turn that keyboard up a little bit. I've gotten upwards of 7 hours and 30 minutes, so that's pretty good. If anybody doesn't know a whole lot about Macs, which is where I was just a few months ago, you can see my tripod. Hey, look at that. You got a little eyesight camera up here. I think it's 1.3 megapixels. It could be 2, but it's a pretty decent camera. It says MacBook Pro there. You can barely see where the screen starts and ends. It's kind of like the iPod Touch or iPhone around there. It's all glass, LED backlit, so it doesn't use a lot of power, and it looks really good. Your microphone's going to be over here. Speakers are underneath the keyboard. Power button's top right. We'll be pushing that in a minute. Then here's your, I believe it's 3 inches or 3.5 inch multi-touch glass trackpad, which is really nice. I'll show you more of what it can do when we get into OS 10. But we'll go ahead and boot it up here. Boot time for me, I have timed it. I'm not going to now, but it's about 35 seconds, maybe 40. But I've got Windows on it. We're not going to use Windows because it's not as good as OS 10 for the things that I want to do with it. Build quality on this is really incredible. I mean, it feels twice as solid as my ThinkPad Z series. I know a couple people with other Z series, and they say they feel better, but they've got the titanium models versus the plastic ones. So here's the log on screen. Pretty quick boot and log in there time, which is always welcome. Okay, so there we go. There's our 13-inch 1280 by 800 screen. Try to turn off these lights, maybe get a better shot tonight. But the backlit keyboard won't even come on right now because the ambient light sensor realizes there's too much light coming in. But if I put my hand over that sensor, turn it up all the way, it's probably pretty dim on camera, but at night, if I were to turn it up all the way, it would hurt my eyes. So I just keep it on its lowest setting at night, and that's almost too much. But the screen, I always keep it down halfway. I can turn it up all the way, it's way too bright. Turn it down halfway, I think that's good. Or, unlike a PC, you can turn it off if you want to leave for a few minutes and don't want to put it to sleep. Speaking of sleeping, close the lid, 1, 2, 3, and it's done. Very, very quick. Opening it up, same process. You don't really have to wait for Windows to figure out your graphics driver again. It's just there, and that's what I love about OS 10. With your Mac, it's going to come with a couple different pieces of software. It's on the suite called iLife. You're going to get iMovie, excellent movie making software. iPhoto, surprisingly fun to play around with. iWeb, and GarageBand. I may be missing something, but those are pretty much the main 4. I really like the iLife suite. Also available software would be iWork, Aperture, really great software that I have purchased. But I really like the computer, and I had always hated Macs, so I could be on your side, but now I'm not a Mac lover, PC hater. I've got 2 PCs sitting over on that table, 1 in here and now 1 on the floor, and there should be another one somewhere. Oh yeah, 3 in that drawer. Old Dell Latitudes, but they're for sale. Let me know. 242 and HP for sale. But really like this. It's been a pleasant experience. Only things I don't like have been in the operating system, and I'll make another video for that. And the things that I don't like are just you know, generic things that's different from Windows that maybe I just don't know how to do yet. So as I said, we'll show you that trackpad real quick here. Here's Yahoo. We'll navigate over to Google. Now if we want to go back, we can swipe 3 fingers this way, it'll go back. Forward, 3 fingers the other way. Scrolling, we'll go back to Yahoo for that. Scrolling is done with 2 fingers. And then you can pinch to zoom, and if you had photos open, you could rotate. It's just really cool. Really, really nice computer to use. I definitely recommend the mid-2009 13-inch MacBook Pro.